And we are live, back again for yet another day of Euro 2020 Daily Roundups with your boy, Dominic Rich FC. Feels good, feels great to be back. How's everybody in here feeling right about now? It's been a long ass day for me, guys. These days have been really long, man. When you have 3 games every day, and for some days coming up on match day 3, we're gonna have 4 games per day. But guys, since I'm covering these games, right? Well, since I'm discussing the games with you guys, I have to get up for the 9 o'clock game, and then I have to stay up, watch the 9 o'clock game, the 12 o'clock game, and then the 3 o'clock game while getting everything else done in between. You see what I'm saying? So it's a challenge. Believe me, it's a challenge. And it is a challenge, especially when you have a 2-year-old in your lap sleeping and you have to wait until he's sleeping before you go live. You see what I mean? Yeah, Thriller. I'm telling you, I had to show up earlier than expected because I scheduled the streams a little later so I could give myself a little leeway. Smart. I'm preparing and I have my notes and I'm ready to talk about all 3 games that were played today. Ukraine 2, North Macedonia 1, the exact prediction that I called. Belgium 2, Denmark 1. I predicted a 2-0 win for Belgium, and they had to really fight to get that 2-1 victory. And then we had Netherlands 2, Austria 1. I think I predicted a 3-1 win. Let me double check. I predicted a 3-1 win for the Dutch. So they came out 2-0 winners. So I got all 3 predictions right, which translates to the fact that I predicted all the right winners, but not the exact scoreline for all 3. So I'm proud. I'm pretty much proud of myself right now for that one. So let's talk about the first game, guys. Ukraine versus North Macedonia. Let's get into the groups and let's get down to Group C. And we are going to talk about Ukraine versus North Macedonia. And guys, before we get into this one, North Macedonia are officially out. They're officially out of the tournament with the fact that the Netherlands won their game and will go on to top the group on head-to-head. Head-to-head is the first decider here for the Euros and not goal difference. Goal difference is the second decider. So let's say Ukraine and Austria play to a draw, then goal difference will come into play. But the Netherlands, seeing that they beat Ukraine and they beat Austria, cannot be passed by either Austria nor Ukraine based on the head-to-head record against those teams. So North Macedonia are officially out of Euro 2020, and the game next week against the Netherlands will be a dead rubber. So let's just note that before we get further into today's discussion. So hard luck to North Macedonia, and I feel for their fans. They came into the tournament as debutants, and after beating Germany, they really fancy their chances in this group. And against a Netherlands team under a new manager, against a very inconsistent Ukraine team, and a under par Austrian team that you never know what you're going to expect. So hard luck to North Macedonia, and I just had to put that one out there real fast. So let's get to the game. But before we do, so far in Group C, we have Austria beating North Macedonia 3-1. The Netherlands beating Ukraine 3-2. Ukraine beating North Macedonia 2-1, the game we'll be talking about right now. And the Netherlands beating Austria 2-0. The game that we're going to be talking about next, we're going to leave the Belgium-Denmark for last because a lot of big talking points from that one. So how's everybody in here feeling? Make sure you smash the thumbs up button one time for the stream. Do appreciate everybody in here right about now. You guys are the real deal. Not frauds. You're the real deal. Remember that. So in this game, Yarmolenko scored in the 29th minute. We will discuss the goals a little bit more in detail just now. Yaremchuk in the 34th, both goal scorers from the game against the Netherlands, where Ukraine sparked a really spirited fight back, but wasn't good enough defensively to keep out the Dutch. And Alioski scored in the 57th minute from a penalty that was saved. Alioski's penalty was saved, and he put in the rebound. 2-1, just as I predicted. So, just to touch on this game a little bit, we don't need to talk crazy too much about this one, because North Macedonia out of the tournament. Already spoke a little bit about them. And Ukraine, they're dark horses, but I don't think Ukraine are going to go on to win Euro 2020. You see what I'm saying? They just might prove me wrong and do that. But the game was played in Bucharest, Romania, and Ukraine made 2 changes coming into this game. It's nice to see Stefanenko making the 11, and I think that was the right change made by Shevchenko. You cannot have a quality player like Stefanenko and have him on the bench. Ukraine have a really nice mixture of youth and experience, but when you put in the experience of Stefanenko, it makes the team a lot better. You can't really have too much youth out there, and the defense for Ukraine is very youthful, and that's hence the reason why they couldn't keep the ball out the back of the net against the Netherlands. And we will get into the players just now, but just wanted to mention that. So, not to talk too much about North Macedonia and their changes, but I think they did make one change for this game. Didn't really affect the outcome of their match, as they have lost the first 2 games of the tournament and now are out. So, for the first 20 minutes of the game, no real big chances in the match. Up until that point, it was a midfield battle, but Ukraine were the more dominant team, as we expected, because North Macedonia, obviously underdogs. They qualified from the League D of the Nations League, which is the bottom tier, and with UEFA expanding the Euros to 24 teams back in 2016, they found a way to factor in the Nations League, to give the Nations League some more significance. Hence the reason why 4 teams got in from the Nations League places, and North Macedonia were one of those teams that came through. So they didn't qualify via the original qualifiers, but through the Nations League. Also, guys, we have to note the referee in this game was a South American referee, and this is the first time a South American ref has officiated a match at the Euro Championship. So we gotta actually talk about that one. I can't quite remember his name right now. I don't remember his name, but he's from Argentina, and that is big. That is big, because sometimes we are wary of seeing the same refs all the time, and it's very refreshing to see that South American referee and the South American officials officiate a game at the Euro. So that is definitely something to note. What are you guys saying in the chat so far? I can't ignore you guys in the chat. How's everybody in here feeling? So let me see. Julian is saying, lash the like button on the stream. You're getting great value for it. Thank you very much there, Julian. Do appreciate that. Lang and Sweet, how are you doing? He says, Dominic Depay missed an easy chance, but because his name's not Raheem Sterling, it won't be mentioned. We will talk about that. But Depay does have a habit of missing chances as well, but not as much as Sterling does. Let's be real, man. And not as much as Timo Werner and Alvaro Morata and Marcus Berg. We got to keep it real here, guys. Come on. We got to keep it a $100. All right, so let us talk about this game a little bit more. Dominant performance by Ukraine in the first, let's say, 20 minutes of the game, and the domination paid off in the 29th minute. Corner taken, and that flick on, that back flick by Karavayev was something from another world, another dimension. It was basically pulled out of the matrix. Awesome back heel pass to Yarmolenko, unmarked. I don't think the North Macedonian players were actually prepared for that back pass by Karavayev, who is one of the best players on the team. Very quality. player there, Karavayev, and Yarmolenko opened the scoring for Ukraine. I think that was Yarmolenko who scored the first goal against Netherlands, right? And then Yaremchuk followed up. I might be wrong, but both goal scorers in the Netherlands game scored again against North Macedonia. And after the opening goal by Yarmolenko then set up Yaremchuk after North Macedonia was trying to get the equalizer. They were playing a high line. They were caught on the counter. And that was a brilliant ball by Yarmolenko. Set up Yaremchuk. Finished exquisitely. The commentators have been talking about this guy, Yaremchuk. He plays in the Belgian league, I think for Ghent. And they got him for cheap, about 2 million euros or so. And if he continues scoring them like this at the tournament, teams are going to come in for him, and Ghent are going to cash in just like they did for Jonathan David, and they're going to get at least 15 to 20 mil for this player because he's a very, very, very talented striker that Ukraine has here. Ukraine has some really neat players in their team, man. And I talked up the Ukraine team in my prediction video, and I went as far as I think I predicted Ukraine to top this group. They won't top the group because, as we know, the Netherlands will go on to top the group now. I guess the Dutch proved most of their doubters wrong. But no surprises here that the Dutch went on to top the group because with the Dutch, the fact that they missed the last two major tournaments, the Dutch could have actually got knocked out in the group stages. We know they have been a very mercurial team, missing the last two international tournaments, being US16 and the World Cup. But with Ronald Koeman pulling things together, having the team looking like their best again, he left for Barcelona. So after Frank de Boer came in as manager, the doubts kicked in again. But after those two very, very good performances in the opening matches of Euro 2020, the Dutch fans would actually, I think they would start trusting Ronald Koeman, Frank de Boer a little bit more. And I'm thinking about Ronald de Boer as well, you know what I'm saying? Frank de Boer's twin brother. So pretty good by Ukraine getting those early goals. And with those early goals, they could have, sit back a little bit. They didn't have to be overly expansive and allow North Macedonia back in the game. But North Macedonia, they didn't play too badly. But it's just that defensively, and when you're coming up against a quality opposition like Ukraine, who has been getting some good results against better teams, like France, for example, you can't really be too hard on North Macedonia, man. This Ukrainian team is talented, as I said. Yaremchuk, Zinchenko, Malinovsky, Matvienko, Mikolenko, and the young center back pair in here, man. You gotta mention that. Zabani, very young guy. All these guys are young, man. And I think the Shakhtar Donetsk team recently won the Euro Youth tournament. I think it was a year or two ago. So a lot of these guys are coming through from that. And then you have Shigankov coming off the bench, looking good again. So let's not take our eyes off this Ukrainian team, guys. You know what I mean? Goran Pandev did score a goal in the 39th minute. Very, very classy finish by the veteran. But the flag was raised for offside. And if that goal would have stood, it could have turned out to be a different game, man. Definitely. So there was nearly an own goal scored by North Macedonia as well. And it was because of a brilliant skill move by Zinchenko that set up that play for Ukraine, almost forced North Macedonia into scoring an own goal there. So there was also a 43rd minute yellow card showed by Shaparenko, the player that came in, one of the changes made on the day for simulation. So we could go ahead and call Shaparenko a fraud. We've been seeing a few yellow cards shown today for simulation. So players need to cut that out their game big time. We don't want to see the fraudulence at the tournament. Not at all. So it was a dominant first half performance by Ukraine, and with that 2-0 lead, They looked like they were heading for all 3 points, and all 3 points they did get. They definitely got the 3 points. But coming back in the second half there, from about the 45th to the 68th minute, of course, North Macedonia trying to get back into the game. And there was a moment where Malinovsky had a free kick, very powerful free kick, saved by Dominicrichfc, the North Macedonian goalkeeper. And then Trakovsky's shot was saved by Buchan. And then Karavayev brought down Goran Pandev. And that is where Aliovsky was then stepped up to take the penalty. A penalty that he did miss. And up until that time when Aliovsky missed his penalty, there had been 4 out of 5 penalty missed at the Euros. Only Cristiano Ronaldo had scored his penalty up until that point, where Bale, Aliovsky, Malinovsky, who later on missed a penalty in this game, and Pierre-Emil Højbjerg of Denmark missed a penalty as well. So not very good penalty taken at the Euros so far. We had a penalty scored by Memphis Depay, so that one is worth mentioning. But overall, poor from the spot by these top quality players who should put these penalties in the back of the net. But Aliovsky did score the rebound to make it 2-1, to make the game a little bit more tricky for the Ukrainians, a little more tense going into the final, let's say, half hour of the game. Teams made a few substitutions, freshen up the players, and we saw Viktor Shigankov, who wasn't even on the bench in the first game. He did get an opportunity when he came on, but he scuffed his shot. The penalty came in the 82nd minute. VAR, handball. That was pretty harsh, in my opinion. And the Mark Clattenburg, who's doing some work with ESPN, he said he was surprised that that penalty was even given because the player was taking evasive action. And how do you want players to jump? You see what I'm saying? So that was kind of harsh. But poetic justice prevailed in the end when Malinovsky stepped up and his penalty was saved by Dominicrichfc. So pretty good stuff. Pretty good. And the game went on to finish 2-1. Not much more to talk about with that one. I expected a win from Ukraine, and they delivered the win. First 3 points of the tournament after losing on match they won against the Dutch. Out goes North Macedonia. Good try. But they have to keep working on this project because they have a very, very good foundation to build on here. And Igor Angelovsky, I think he should be kept in charge. Don't fire the manager just because you get knocked out of a Euro tournament with all these quality teams. What are your thoughts, guys? Ukraine still alive when they meet Austria next week. That'll be a big game. I really like how this group is setting up. We have a big match next week. Thoughts, guys? Talk to me. Big up to everybody in the house, man. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button for the stream. Let's get the stream up to 50 thumbs up ASAP. How's everybody feeling? All right, so what we got here in terms of comments. We have Thriller says, it's a conundrum because if some don't embellish fouls, actual pens won't get given. But the crazy thing is, though, with all these cameras around and VAR, it's very difficult to embellish these days. You see what I'm saying? In the past, yeah, you could easily embellish and get a penalty and score and go on to win the game. You see what I'm saying? But with all the cameras around, man, you know, it doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? Big up to the boy Robert Rodriguez in the house. He says, hope Finland can still make it. We'll get to Finland just now, but it's not looking good at all. Julian is saying Denmark still have a chance of making it through to the round of 16. Yes, they do. Definitely. Robert says Ukraine still might have a chance if they get a good result against Austria. Yeah, but it's down to who actually if they draw the game, it will come down to goal difference between these teams. So right now, if you check the group standings in terms of goal difference, both teams are on 0 goal difference, right? So a 1-1 draw in that game, what would be the decider? What would be the third decider for these games? I really don't know. This is something that we should know, but the first decider would be head-to-head. The second decider would be goal difference. What's the third decider? Yellow cards? Would it be yellow cards? Would it be fair play like at the World Cup? I really don't know, man. I really don't know. But I think we'll get a result in that game, though. I really think we will get a result. But so far, Ukraine are second in the group. So with Ukraine being second in the group, it means if there's a draw in that game, Ukraine will come in second and not Austria because of the current group standings. I don't know how they worked it out, but that's the way it is right about now. So good performance by Ukraine, more solid performance than in the opening game. And as you saw, they kept a clean, no, they didn't keep a clean sheet, but they almost kept a clean sheet apart from the penalty. I saw they keep, I don't know why I said they keep a clean sheet, but they were better defensively than they were against the Dutch because they conceded 3 against the Dutch and only conceded once against North Macedonia. And that's expected. The Dutch are a more quality team. North Macedonia, very, you know what I mean, they would have been lucky if they even get a draw from this game, in my opinion. So, better luck next time, North Macedonia. So, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to move on. Definitely going to move on to the next game. But before we do, we got to touch on the next fixture where Ukraine does play Austria and North Macedonia play the Dutch. So, big games coming up next week, the 21st. I think that's on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a calendar in my head right now, but I think it's on Monday. Let me just check the calendar. I do have a calendar on the computer. Yeah, it's on Monday. So, big game coming up next Monday, where I will be back to do Euro 2020 Daily Roundup as well. So, the Netherlands 2, Austria 0. 11th minute goal by Memphis Depay from the penalty spot. And the 67th minute goal from Denzel Dumfries. But I am jumping the gun a little. I should have given you guys some stats from that last game, but I didn't. But it's all right, man. That game, you know, a lower profile game, and I think we give that game enough love. What do you guys think? I think we give that game way too much love. Most people don't even talk about these games for like 5 minutes. You see what I mean? So here I am giving these games a whole lot of love. But before we get into this match, I like to do things properly. I really like to do things properly. So let's just wheel back here. Let's just wheel back here and touch on some stats before we move on. The Ukraine, 17 shots at goal, 8 on target, 53% of the ball, 448 passes with an 87% pass accuracy. They committed 9 fouls. North Macedonia, 13 shots. So the game was shot-laden. A lot of shots. 30 shots at goal. So you can't say you weren't entertained. 3 goals. You can't say you weren't entertained here. North Macedonia had 5 shots at goal. 5 shots on target, pardon me. 47% of the ball, 398 passes with an 84% pass accuracy. So there's quality in this team, man. And we got to keep an eye on this team going forward because these are some really good stats. I ain't going to lie. Those are some really good stats there from North Macedonia. But guys, we are going to move on. Apologize for missing that very important segment where we just hit the stats really quick. So let's move on. The Netherlands 2, Ukraine 0. All right, so yeah. Big up to the boy Robert Robinson in the house, who's coming in with the transfer news saying Danny Rose to Watford. Christopher Hallgren, how are you doing, man? Oh, man. Christopher Hallgren says, tickle that like button. Yeah, guys, smash the like button like Christopher Hallgren said. Nice to see you around these parts, Christopher. I could remember back in December 2017, man, when I used to do those live streams as early as December 2017. Christopher Hallgren was in the house. You know what I mean? Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to you. So, Ahmed22 is saying, hi Dominic, install FootMob, amazing football app with class stats and database for matches and players, way much better than Google. Thank you very much, man. FootMob, F-O-T or F-O-O-T. Is it FootMob or is that the right spelling? I'll check it out whenever I have some time. All right? Thank you very much. Big up to Zachary Leahy in the house. How are you feeling, Zachary? We're back with Euro 2020 daily. Julian says he already has one football. One football of frauds. Let's move on. So, what else we got here? The Netherlands 2, Austria 0. Depay in the 11th minute with a penalty. And boy Denzel Dumfries involved again. Big involvement so far at the tournament for Denzel Dumfries, the right wing back, with a 67th minute goal set up by Daniel Malen. The boy Malen, who broke out like a man on fire. And then he picked up a bad injury and then fizzled away a bit, but he's back. So big up to the boy Daniel Malen. Nice to see him coming out, picking up that assist there. The Dutch 2, Austria 0. I didn't expect any other result. And they delivered. Frank de Boer shutting up all his critics there. Big result for the Oranje of the Netherlands. Matthijs de Ligt back for the Dutch. That's a big boost. They kept a clean sheet, which they failed to do in the first game against Ukraine. And when you really look at this Dutch team, guys, I like that there's a mix of youth and experience. We just take a look at this team right now. That's the key here. That's the key. Denzel Dumfries, been around a few seasons, pretty much experienced, you know what I mean, but he's still very youthful. De Vrij, 3 at the back. Look at how the Dutch are set up, guys. They're set up very defensively under Frank de Boer. 3 center backs with 2 wing backs, 2 holding midfielders. So that's basically 7 guys defending. But they didn't defend well in the game against Ukraine. And maybe that's why that youngster was dropped. I think that was Timber at the back. And De Ligt brought back into the team. So with Blind, very experienced guy. De Ligt, a lot of experience, but he's very youthful. Van Aanholt, I think the reason why Van Aanholt is playing at all is because of his experience. You need experience in these big games, man, because sometimes the youngsters may lose their head and do something really silly. And to have guys like Van Aanholt in there with a lot of Premier League experience, you know, would only add to the team and not take away. You look at De Roon in the midfield alongside Wijnaldum and the youthful zest of Frankie de Jong. Perfect mixture with Wout Weghorst, a more conventional striker, along with Depay, a guy who roams around the left and the right. He has a license to roam all over in the final third. So well-balanced outfit here for the Dutch, and hence the reason why they picked up 2 wins in the first 2 games. I think they learned a lot from the game against Ukraine, and they came and executed a lot better game plan here against the Austrians. Big 2-0 win. Austria here, man. Marko Arnautovic, man, you know. When you go and do a lot of selfish things, like I did see the celebration against North Macedonia, but I didn't know he got the suspension until I was actually reviewing the match yesterday. I really didn't realize. You see what I'm saying? So his exclusion actually cost Austria, because going forward, they were so bad, man. They hardly tested Stekelenburg in goal. Like, you have a 38-year-old goalkeeper, you got to test him. And he was hardly tested in the match. And like I said in my analysis before the tournament started, Austria, they look good on paper, but this is a team that just does not deliver, man. They just does not deliver the goods, and they don't play well as a unit. They have good players, man. Sabitzer, Liner with all the pace, Schegler, Leimer, Bundesliga, very good players in the Bundesliga. Dragovic. It's a very Bundesliga-based team. I think, but while looking at the team right now, I think everyone in the team, everyone in the starting 11 with the exception of Bachmann and Ulmer played in the Bundesliga last season. Everyone. It's crazy. Ulmer plays for Salzburg, and you had Bachmann playing for Watford. But Alaba will leave and Dragovic will leave the Bundesliga. And I think Baumgartner does play in the Bundesliga as well. So, quality team, but just can't deliver on the Frankfurter. Like, they got to work it out, man. Definitely got to work it out. Not the best performance at all, especially going forward. If you really check the stats for this game, I will get into some more details here that happened in the game, but if you really check the stats, guys, Austria had most of the ball, right? They were able to get 9 shots off at goal, but they were only able to register their first shot at goal, I think in about the 80, let me check my notes. The 84th minute. That is nuts. That is nuts. You're not going to get far in the tournament with performances like this, Austria. So, with their back against the wall, coming up against Ukraine next Monday, it's do or die. But right now, it's looking like die. Because Frankfurter, in my opinion, he's not sure what he's doing. Because when you look at Alaba, right? Alaba is playing as a center back. But it's evident that whenever Alaba gets pushed up further up the field, he's way more effective for Austria. Look at that assist in the first game for the Gregorcic goal. And look at late in the match when he was pushed up, he barely missed the target. That was going in. So I think Frankfurter has to work they gotta work this thing out before the final game against Ukraine. Or else it's bye-bye. You see what I'm saying? It's bye. Until the next Euros. Bye. And I didn't predict Austria to get out of this group. I don't even think I think I predicted them to come in third, but don't even go on as, one of the best third place teams. Because I just don't trust this Austrian team at all. You see what I'm saying, guys? Do you guys agree with me? If you agree with me, just, let me know in the chat. And if you're in here and you haven't yet smashed the thumbs up button, please do so. So, 9th minute, early blunder by Alaba and Austria. Silly foul in the box, stepped on Dumfries' foot. Penalty wasn't given at first, but when VAR intervened, the referee went and looked at the screen, pointed to the spot. Memphis Depay stepped up and dispatched it 1-0 to the Dutch. Dumfries. This guy, Denzel Dumfries, I was talking him up, man. He did play for Aruba about 7 years ago. But seeing that he was a youngster and everything, he wasn't cap-tied. So he did play for Aruba. Now he's playing for the Dutch national team. He's a PSV player. But I don't think he would be a PSV player for much longer if he continues to be such a threat going forward. And like I said the last time I spoke about the Dutch team in that first game where they beat Ukraine 3-2, Denzel Dumfries would be a very good fit for Arsenal FC. Thriller, if you agree with me, let me know. Arsenal, this is a great buy. This would be a great buy. That would be an improvement on Hector Bellerin. I know we haven't got to see him defend a lot at this tournament. When they meet the better oppositions, the defensive part of his game would definitely need to kick in. But so far, his attacking prowess has been very, very top-notch, man. That's his second goal of the tournament, and that's his second international goal. So he saved his best for the Euros. And then I think he picked up an assist in the first match as well. and then he got fouled for this penalty. Denzel Dumfries is the X factor for the Dutch right about now, man. Definitely. So the Dutch went on to win the group, as you guys know, and the fact that they win the group, they will definitely go on to play the quarterfinals at the Amsterdam Arena, which would be a big, not the quarterfinals, the round of 16. Let's not get that far. The round of 16 in Amsterdam, so that'll be an advantage there for the Dutch. So there was a good little fight back by Austria from about the 15th to the 35th minute, where they kind of consolidated everything, and after being basically put on the back foot by the Dutch, Austria, they had a lot of the ball. They were playing themselves in the game, but in the final third, they were lacking the quality. Not enough service to the front man, Gregorcic, but you know, I think if Arnautovic was on the field, something different could have happened, in my opinion. Depay. Let's talk about the Memphis Depay miss, guys. It happened in the 40th minute, and I'm a little lenient on Depay. He should have scored it, but if you really look at what happened, guys, it wasn't an... the words can't even come out. I shouldn't even try to defend Memphis Depay right now. But the words can't come out, man. They're not coming out right. Depay didn't get it right. He should have scored. They should have made it 2-0 then and there. That was a bad miss. And Lennon Sweet is right when he said if it was Raheem Sterling, the whole world would have been talking about it. If it was Timo Werner, everyone would have been talking about it for sure. But Depay, I think we'll give you a pass here. It was at a bad height, and he wasn't able to put it in the back of the net. So anything you guys saying about this game right now? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Anything else to add? Big up to everybody in the house right now. Appreciate ya. What else we got here? Big up to Football Pharaoh, man. Woo! Football Pharaoh in the house, who says a draw with Ukraine should be enough, but we'll see. But Football Pharaoh, what I'm saying, right? If you check the table here, let's check the table, right? You check the table. Where's the damn table? If we check the table, right? Let's check the table. Right now, Ukraine are second in the group. You see what I'm saying? Ukraine are... Oh! Yeah. Now I understand why Ukraine is second in the group. They scored more goals. So the third decider would be goals scored, just like in CONCACAF, where Guatemala and Curacao were separated by goals scored. So that's the reason why Ukraine are ahead of Austria in the group. So if they play to a draw, Ukraine goes through on goals scored, because they would have the same amount of the same goal difference, and they would have the same amount of points. So yeah, I figured it out. God damn, took me a while. Listen, this ain't rocket science, but it took me a while. You see what I'm saying? But that's the situation right now in Group C. Netherlands have topped the group, and with a draw, Ukraine goes through because of the goals, the amount of goals they scored, not conceded. They don't pay no. Listen, they don't care about defending there. The only way defending helps you is with the goal difference, when you really look at it. But if you don't defend well, you have to score to make it up, and that's what Ukraine did after conceding 3 against the Dutch. So let's get back to this game. But nice to see you in here, Football Pharaoh. It's a pleasure, man. All right, so Netherlands 2, Austria 0. We're talking about the second half right now. So with a 1-0 lead going into the second half, the Dutch wasn't out of it. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't like, not the Dutch. But what I'm basically trying to say, the Dutch wasn't home and dry with the 1-0 lead. And Austria, they wasn't out of it. So they had to really they had to keep pushing, and they did, but still they just lacked the imagination, man, that they needed to break down this very resilient Dutch team. There was a chance in the 61st minute De Vrij with a header, De Ligt with a shot that was blocked, and the Dutch could have went 2-0 up and basically put the game to bed then and there, and they failed to get it in the back of the net. The goal did come a few minutes later. Great breakaway by the Netherlands after Austria were caught high up the field. Daniel Malen, who had just came on the field, had a 1v1 with the goalkeeper, but he chose to pass it to Dumfries, the wingback running over at the right-hand side, and that was the right decision. Dumfries tapped in, tap, 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 tap. Thank you very much, sweetie. Appreciate it. Goal, 2-0, and the Dutch kept that unassailable lead until the 90th minute. But as I was saying, it was a much better defensive showing by the Dutch. They managed to keep Austria very, very quiet in the final third. Late in the game, after a few changes were made and Alaba was pushed further up the field, I spoke about his shot that almost got in, but it went wide of the post. And then in the 84th minute, Austria registered their first shot on target, which was very, very poor, man. Very poor. They could have done way better in this game. Game ended 2-0 in favor of the Dutch, and they went on to top the group. So, with topping the group and playing North Macedonia on Monday, they could basically make 11 changes if they want, just so that they could take a look at some of the other players, the French players in the squad, rest some key players, and not face any consequence even if they lose or draw the match. So, yeah, I don't think they will make 11 changes, but you never know. You never know. They won't want to register a loss against North Macedonia because that'll be a feather in North Macedonia's cap any way you look at it. So, they don't want to register an L. And if North Macedonia, let's say, if they win that game against the Dutch, if they rotate, they have a chance of coming in third as well. So, but I think no. Actually, they can't come in third because of head-to-head. They lost to both the teams that are ahead of them. So, yeah. But still, it would be a feather in North Macedonia's cap picking up a win against the Dutch. They would talk about that. They would talk about the win against Germany as well. So, yeah. But it can get a little confusing, guys, with these, head-to-head and these separators, man. So, just to reiterate, on Monday, when Austria plays Ukraine, if Alaba plays at center-back, I'm going to have a laugh. I would be convinced that Franco Foda does not know what he's doing. Alaba has to play as a wing-back. Play him as a left wing-back. Do not have him at center-back. That would be your downfall. Because this Austrian team looks good, but it's only on paper. 2-0 to the Dutch. They move on to the round of 16. Austria, their fate is still in limbo. What are you guys saying in the chat as we have one more match to talk about? And we also have to talk about the games tomorrow. That's coming up. I have those queued up as well. And in terms of those games, who do we have coming up tomorrow? We have we do have England playing Scotland, Croatia playing the Czech Republic, and Sweden coming up against Slovakia. Once again, I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chat, all 80 plus of y'all. And for those of you guys watching the replay right now, hi, how are you? Thank you very much for clicking on the video. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to like the video. Also, if you're new, subscribe. The channel has been growing nicely with these daily Euro videos and also the other content that I've been putting out. Guys, don't forget to check out the other content. I just dropped a new video talking about the new Man City home kit for the 21-22 season. Okay. What we got here in the chat? I know you guys are dropping some golden nuggets in the chat right now, man. What we got here? So, big up to A-Bob. How are you doing, A-Bob? Nice to see you around these parts. We have Marco Yovchevsky. Marco Yovchevsky coming in from Macedonia says, hello from Macedonia. We played well with Ukraine, especially in the second half. Also, this is our first time in the Euros. We made history. Yeah, man. I like that you feel proud of your team, and you should. You definitely should. The team is on the up. You can't hold your head. You can't keep your head down after getting knocked out of the Euros. So, you know, just keep trying. There's always the World Cup qualifiers, man, for Qatar. You guys could pull a shocker and you could get there. What else we got here? So, Thriller. Desperation doesn't promote attraction. Yeah, Steve, you need to stop, bro. You need to stop it, Steve. You're back again with the nonsense. Stop it. Guys, mods in the chat, handle Steve, please, if he does not chill. But nice to see Abob in here. Abob says, good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abob. Nice to see you around these parts. All right. Before we move on from talking about the Dutch, guys, we have to actually look at the potential matchups in the next round. We got to talk about that a little bit. So let me just pull up the table right now. And we'll talk about the Dutch, who's in Group C, and who they could potentially meet in the next round. So let me just get the bracket. All right, so I got the bracket, guys. So Group C. The winner of Group C. Every time I'm looking for these things, I could never find them, you know. Never. All right, the Dutch. The winner of Group C. They would meet, the fact that they placed top of their group, guys, they would meet a third place team from D, E, or F. This is good. This is good for the Dutch. This is really, really good for the Dutch. And the game will be played in Amsterdam. But the quarterfinals will be in Baku. So they would have to make a very, very long trip all the way to Azerbaijan for the quarterfinals, where they will meet the runner-up from Group A and the runner-up from Group B. So let's just take a look at the path that the Dutch could take if they stay in this tournament. Let's just take a look at that. So we go back at the group. The Netherlands will play third from D, E, or F. So let's go down to Group D, third. Ooh, this could get interesting. So let's say Croatia scraped through as third. It could be the Dutch against Croatia, because the Czech Republic are looking good. So the Czechs are on top of the group right now after a win. Very impressive win against Scotland, 2-0. England are in second. That's not where, well, maybe that's where England would want to be. We'll talk about England a little later in the video. But Croatia are third. So right now, that's not the way it's going to end up, but you never know. They could play Croatia, who are yet to get a point in the group after losing to England. They could also meet Scotland. So that's what it's looking like. They could also meet the third place team from Group E, whoever comes in as one of the best third place teams. And it could be Slovakia, it could be Sweden or Poland, or even Spain. I think the Dutch would fancy playing any one of these teams, even Spain. And Group F, it could get very tricky here. It could get very, very tricky here, guys. We're going to have a really good round of 16 game between the Dutch and whoever comes out as one of the best third place teams from D, E, or F. This is going to be good. I repeat, this is going to be good. What are you guys saying? I know you guys are saying something about this in the chat right up. I know you guys are saying something about this in the chat right now. So, what else we got? Theo is saying Netherlands didn't look that impressive, to be honest. I don't agree with you. I think they would. I think they actually they look good. I think they will get better as the tournament progresses. 2 wins in 2? Come on, man. That's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh, man. That is a bit harsh. So, you guys are not actually saying nothing about this game. So, let me see. About this potential matchup in the round of 16. All right. So, we have Lemma VR is saying Just started watching from the beginning of the stream. If Ukraine or Austria goes from second place in the group, they go against Italy, most probable. From third place, France, most probable. So dead end. Yeah, I don't think you should write off any team like that, man. I don't think you should write off any team. Not yet. Not yet. Let's not write them off yet. You see what I'm saying? Let's not do that. Let's not write off any team. But we are going to have a good round of 16 matchup with the Netherlands, who have booked a place at the top of Group C. So they are the only confirmed team in the bracket so far. I know Italy have gone through, but we don't know whether Italy will top their group or come in second. Okay, so the Netherlands are the only team right now in the brackets. Looking at the bracket right now. So let's go right back up to Group C. And before we do move on, I gotta hit you guys with some stats here. So let me just pull up the stats again. All right, so Netherlands 2, Austria 0. The Dutch with 14 shots at goal, 4 on target, 46% of the ball, 480 passes with a 78% pass accuracy. 9 shots for the Austrian team, 1 on target, 54% of the ball, 529 passes with an 82% pass accuracy. So not a bad performance by Austria, but that's not what you need to pick up 3 points in at all. It ain't. And guys, I want to hit you with some up the stats right now. So just hold tight. I'm going to hit you with some up the stats, and then we're going to move on to the final game. Let's just hit you with some up the stats there, guys. I know you guys love the up the stats. Let's hit you up to Joe. 19 years, 236 days. The age difference of 19 between Martin Stecklenburg, who's 38 years old, and Ryan Gravenberch is the biggest age gap between two teammates in a Euro Championship game. Generations. So that's history. And Ryan Gravenberch is talked up as being one of the best youngsters in European football right about now, and he has a bright future. He plays for Ajax. So big up to Ryan Gravenberch. He does have that look of a very, very, very good footballer, if that's a thing. And he does have the look of a star. The man looks like a star, man. So big up to Ryan Gravenberch, the 19-year-old youngster from the Netherlands. 9. Netherlands are now unbeaten in 9 matches at major tournaments, World Cup and Euros. The longest run by a European nation since Portugal went 12 without defeat across the 2014 and 2018 World Cups, including Euro 16 in between. Rolling. Remember, guys, the last time the Dutch were at a major tournament was at the 2014 World Cup. So, yeah. Moving on to the next one. 2. Denzel Dumfries is the second player ever to score in his first 2 European Championship games for the Netherlands after Ruud van Nistelrooy. Delighted. That's good company to keep. Very potent goal scorer, Ruud van Nistelrooy there. And for some more up to stats. 8. Since Frank de Boer's first game in charge in October of 2020, only Romelu Lukaku with 10 has scored more goals for a European nation than Memphis Depay's 8 for the Netherlands. The man is a talisman. And he's been in the news saying that he will be moving to Barcelona. He will be a Barcelona player next season. How are you Barcelona fans feeling about that? He's a very talented player. And do you think he'll help Barcelona regain that La Liga title? I think he would add a lot to the dressing room. Maybe not with his music, but definitely with his footballing skills. So let us move on. Any more up the stats here? Okay, we have 6. The Netherlands have won their last 6 matches against Austria. The only starters for the Dutch who were already born when they last dropped points versus Austria in 1990, a 3-2 loss, are Martin Stekelenburg and Daley Blind. So, against Austria, routine stuff. All right, so that'll be it in terms of the Opta stats. And we are going to go right back over to the Euros. And before we do move on to the last game, Ukraine play Austria, North Macedonia play the Netherlands. So that'll be it for Group C. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to move up to Group B, where we have a big game between Belgium and Denmark to discuss. Right, so let me just change up the background right there to Group B. Change that up nicely. And let's talk a bit about Group B, guys. If you guys have any questions, any good questions about anything Euro 2020, please feel free to ask. So, yeah. Let me take a sip of my beer. What are you guys drinking, man? I'm drinking that Especial, that Modelo Especial Negra once again. Zachary's asking me, were you a Nas fan? Yes, I was. Big Nas fan, man. Why you say that? Why you say that? Why? I was a Nas fan. I still am, but I was a big Nas fan. So, let's talk a bit about Group B. Let's talk about Belgium versus Denmark. So yesterday, guys, we spoke about Russia beating Finland 1-0. And in the previous days, we already talked about Belgium beating Russia 3-0 and Finland beating Denmark 1-0. Those were on match day 1. But we are talking about match day 2. And let's talk a bit about Denmark versus Belgium. But guys, before we move into this game, you know what I mean, look, man, just to touch on that Christian Eriksen situation again, man, that was very scary. That was really scary. And I'm so happy that the guy is alive, man. I'm so happy that he's alive, because that would have really sent jitters to the footballing world if he had really died. You know, he did die. Maybe for a minute or less, but he was brought back, resuscitated, and he's in the hospital just chilling, man. And rumors are, well, not rumors, they said that his first words were like, maybe like, I think he said, damn, I can't die, I'm only 29 years old or something like that. Yeah, man, that's young. That's it. These guys be looking so much older, but he's only 29 years old, so I hope he comes back and play. But they would actually be putting a device, you know, installing a device in his heart or around the area. I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know. But they're gonna install a device to monitor his heart condition and everything. So a similar device like what Daley Blind has. Daley Blind also has a heart condition, guys. So that's hope for Christian Eriksen that he could one day play football again. But just a sad situation, man. And I think the fact that Christian Eriksen picked up that, you know, the horrible incident with Christian Eriksen, it hampered the Danish national team, where they went on to lose to Finland. And come on, man, after witnessing such a freaking traumatic incident, you're not robots. These guys are not cyborgs. They can't just run out there and play without emotion. So I think their emotion may have gotten the best of them in the game against Finland, and the emotion may have got the better of them in the game against Belgium as well, because they would have came into this game thinking, okay, yeah, we're going to be playing for Christian Eriksen. And they came out the blocks very, very fast. Second fastest goal ever in Euro history, scored by Yusuf Paulsen, set up by Heiberg. I don't know if the Belgium defense was sleeping or they were just being nice. I don't know. But it can't be the second option. They were definitely not playing nice. Seeing that they fought back and went on to win the game through goals from Torgan Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne in the 78th minute. But I like what I saw from Denmark. Really, really. We saw the real Denmark minus Christian Eriksen here in the first half, where they led. And it was looking good. I was even preparing to do an emergency live stream if Denmark had went on to win this game. I really was. But we know what happened. They lost the match. 2-1. But let's talk a bit about the details of this game. Let's start. There was a 10-minute tribute for Christian Eriksen after the goal had scored by Poulsen. Very spirited start by Denmark. And I was saying to myself, what is going on with this Belgium team here, man? And I know what was going on with the Belgium team, guys. I figured it out after I questioned Roberto Martinez. There's nothing wrong with this Belgium team. The only thing wrong with this Belgium team is Roberto Martinez, guys. I kid you not. Roberto Martinez. Like, why would you take out Dedrick Boyata and put in Jason Denayer if nothing is wrong with Denayer? Nothing is wrong with Boyata. Because I even did a Google search on Boyata and I didn't find anything of an injury or nothing on Boyata. Let me check the bench again. Let me see what. Okay, so Boyata is on the bench. So after the great game Boyata had in the first match there against Russia, why you take out Boyata? Please explain to me, guys. Why you take out Boyata? You see what I mean? I don't get it. Why take out Boyata? I don't really want to show that footage either, so, you know. But why you take out Boyata? And that was a horrible error by Denayer for that Yusuf Poulsen goal. It was all Denayer. See what I'm saying? So I think that was a big mistake by Roberto Martinez to take out Boyata, who was very solid, and bring in Denayer. Absolutely uncalled for, guys. Absolutely uncalled for. Football Ferris saying if Belgium goes out of before the semis, it's Martinez's fault. Yeah. And as Abab says, experimenting. No need to be experimenting right now. You only experiment when you have booked your place as the group winners. You see what I'm saying? So, Thriller is saying, can Eriksen still play at the pro level with his upcoming defibrillator implant? I think he can. I think he can because Daley Blind has same device installed in his chest, as I mentioned. You know what I mean? Julian is saying Tielemans was trash today. Yeah, to be honest, man, Tielemans and Dendoncker has not really shown up for this tournament yet, especially Dendoncker. So the fact that Axel Witsel is fit again, it must be a very, very positive thing for the Belgian fans and for the Belgium team. Because Dendoncker ain't doing it, man. Seriously. Definitely ain't doing it. I like him, the fact that he's versatile, but you gotta up his game. His game needs to go up a notch. Seriously. Dendoncker ain't it. And we saw it in the first half where Belgium, they looked a different team. I was saying to myself, who am I watching here? Who am I watching? You see what I'm saying? I'm like, Denmark are going to make me look really bad by, you know, the prediction that I made. They're going to make me look stupid. You see what I'm saying? I predicted a 2-0 win for Belgium. And Denmark are leading the match 1-0. And Belgium are like nowhere to be found in the match. Simon Kjaer had Romelu Lukaku in his pocket all first half. The whole first half. Simon Kjaer carrying around Lukaku in his pockets. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, this has to be Roberto Martinez's fault, man, because I don't understand some of the things he does. You have a perfect team set up, and you're going to go and change it. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Doesn't. There was a 5th minute chance by Mela, foiled by Courtois, Another shot in the 6th minute by Daniel Voss. Saved by Courtois again. The Danish team came out really, really well, and they wanted to make a statement. They wanted to make the statement that they could play without Christian Eriksen, but as we learn, this team is Christian Eriksen. The manager even said it. You see what I'm saying? Kasper Hjulman. He said in the interview that Christian Eriksen is the heartbeat of the team, and the team is not the same without Eriksen, but they're going to try. They're going to try their best. He's the chief creator. He's the talisman. You could ask the Republic of Ireland fans if you don't believe me. Eriksen is the man. Maybe not when he was at Tottenham or not at Inter, but for the Danish team, yo, he just bossed the freaking midfield, man. So great start by Denmark, keeping Belgium very, very quiet. And there was the player who came in for Christian Eriksen, Damsgaard, a 20-year-old forward there. That kid is very talented, man. Just want to put it out there. He had a great individual move where he almost scored. And at 20 years old, the future looks bright for the Danes with Damsgaard in their team. You know what I mean? So, well played in the first half there for Denmark. Not much more to add in terms of first half talking points, but solid performance. And up until that time, I'm saying to myself, okay, Denmark is gonna actually beat the Belgium team here, who don't really lose that often, because there's also a stat out there that says wherever Belgium were leading wherever Belgium was trailing in 6 previous European Euro games, whenever they're trailing at halftime, they lost all 6 of them, and they made history by turning around a deficit for the first time at the Euros. And Denmark, whenever they led at halftime, they actually won. So they're really missing Christian Eriksen, who was actually watching the game from his hospital bed nearby to the stadium. So second half is where everything changed. This is where everything changed, man. This is where everything changed. Bringing on De Bruyne. De Bruyne coming into the game is where everything changed. We just scroll down here. You see the substitution. Where's the substitution at? Dries Mertens, who was a ghost in the game. Mertens didn't do anything. Didn't get a chance. Didn't do anything at all in the match. Mere ghost. Kasper Mertens. You know what I mean? I know Kasper is a Danish name, you know, Kasper Dolberg, Kasper Hjulman. But we had a Danish player playing for the Belgian team today. And his name was Kasper Mertens. Roberto Martinez took him off. And he brought on the best midfielder, well, attacking midfielder, I should say, in the world right now, Kevin De Bruyne. And the game turned on its head almost immediately. You gotta love this guy. You have to love this guy. And a lot of people hate on Kevin De Bruyne because he plays for City, and they say, oh, he doesn't show up for big games. And we're not talking about club football right now. Just put that aside. We're talking Euros. We're talking international football, where you're playing against national teams, when you're playing with players who are from the same country as you are. Patriotism. Kevin De Bruyne is different. See what I'm saying? The man is just different. Just made of a different cloth. Royal. What a performance. Lukaku breaking away. Passing the ball to De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne with the presence of mind to just lift his head up and pass. Torgan Hazard with the tap in. Tap, tap, tap. Thank you very much, sweetie. 1-1. And I was like, okay. Once I saw Belgium scored, I knew they were going to win the game. I knew they were going to win the game. Great goal. Great goal. Great goal. Could I say it again? I got a scam likely call coming in, man. Bunch of frauds always calling my phone. God damn it. God damn it. Extended warranty have expired. But yeah, man. Yeah. Great goal. Great goal. Set up by Kevin De Bruyne. There was a few substitutions made. Witsel came on for Hazard. And, well, not Hazard. Witsel and Hazard. Eden Hazard came on for Den Duncan. Carrasco. Carrasco was also a ghost in this match. Definitely. Needed to do a lot better. There was a 69-minute yellow card shown for Damsgaard as well for simulation. And I was just talking about these fraud calls on my phone. Damsgaard, man. You can't be frauding things out like that. And before, the goal, just before the goal, he's being a fraud. 78th minute, Lukaku to Hazard. And then to De Bruyne. What a goal, man. And then is when I popped up my phone and I made that reaction video for the channel, the shots, talking about how good De Bruyne is. No, I think I did talk about that when the first goal was. No. Yeah, I think, when the second goal was scored. Yeah. Because at that moment of time, I was like, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. This game is a wrap. With all the emotions that's running through the Danish team, it would have been very difficult for them to come back. They did fight really hard, though, for the last 20 minutes of the game, where Martin Braithwaite hit the post. He pulled out, he pulled out a few saves from Courtois, and they really fought well. They really put out a really good performance, especially in the first half. But in the last 25 minutes of the game, they tried, but it wasn't enough for this very quality Belgium team that was almost messed up by Roberto Martinez. It was him. It's him. Because when the quality players came on the field, you saw a change. You see what I'm saying? And I'll be surprised if he keeps playing Denier. Because Denier is trash in my opinion. No disrespect. That's why he couldn't make the grade at City. He ain't that good. You know what I mean? I like Boyata, and I think Boyata is the man that should be at the back for Belgium, because when you have Alderweireld and Vertonghen, these guys who are Tottenham playing for years, winning nothing, right? You need Boyata in the middle to complement them, because apparently it's not enough. Alderweireld and Vertonghen ain't enough, and when you add a Denier in the middle, you're making the defense worse. So yeah, man, pardon my little rant there on Martinez, but you guys know I followed this Belgian team at the 2018 World Cup, and I think they could have done a lot better in this game. Even though they went on to win the game, it wasn't the most polished performance. But as the tournament progressed, you're seeing the more quality players who were out injured coming back. And let's say in the round of 16, you might see a game where Eden Hazard starts, Kevin De Bruyne starts, Axel Witsel start, and you see a full strength Belgium team. And props to Lukaku as well, who did play with a bit more freedom, pushed over to the right, being able to run at more, the fullbacks over there instead of being pocketed by Simon Kjaer down the middle, which he wasn't really that effective. He didn't really get the service. But when De Bruyne came on, the game changed. De Bruyne changed his entire game. So I think Roberto Martinez has De Bruyne to thank, because if it wasn't for De Bruyne, I think they would have lost this game. They would have definitely lost the game. So what are you guys saying here? I'm actually distracted a bit here by some Copa America shenanigans, We have Colombia playing Venezuela 0-0. Player just got smashed in his face and all of that. This thing is crazy. This Copa America is crazy. But guys, what are your thoughts, man? Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts in the chat. What we got here in terms of quality comments? Hey, Bob. Dom always getting these scam calls while on streams. Yeah, man. Telling you, man. These scammers need to chill. They really need to chill. I don't know if they're actually catching people with these scam calls, but they ain't gonna catch me at all, man. Definitely ain't catching me. So for this game, in terms of stats, Denmark had 21 shots at goal. They were really spirited. They came in as an inspired bunch because of the whole Christian Eriksen situation. 21 shots at goal. 21. This is worrying. This is worrying for Belgium, to be honest. I know they won the game, but they also have to look at the negatives. And you can't allow a team to take 21 shots at you. It's unacceptable. 5 of them on target. Courtois had to pull off a few big saves. Denmark had 46% of the ball. And they passed the ball very well. 489 passes, 84% pass accuracy. Belgium only had 6 shots at goal. 5 of them on target. They had most of the ball. 66 passes with an 84% pass accuracy. Committed 14 fouls. So the fact that they committed 14 fouls, it means that their defense were really busy. You see what I'm saying? Trying to get the ball back from these Danish players. And they were playing the Danes were playing their heart out in front of a home crowd. And it's sad that they lost their first 2 matches on home soil. When I tell you guys, home advantage is a bit overrated these days, especially when you don't have a full capacity crowd in the stands. Even Hungary, with a full capacity in their stands, couldn't win their game. So it just goes back to where I said home court advantage doesn't really mean a damn thing at the Euros right about now. Tournament football is tournament football, and all kinds of other variables are going to chip in. And one variable that has been affecting this Danish team is the lack of Christian Eriksen and the whole story surrounding his absence. So good stuff for Belgium. They had to fight, and this would actually help them too, if you look at it from that angle, where it wasn't another easy pushover win. They had to fight. They had to come from behind. This doesn't happen a lot for Belgium, and this is a good thing. If they're made to grind out results, it would only make the team better going into the tournament. Look at what happened with Portugal. They had to grind out all their results in 2016. They ended up winning it. You see what I'm saying? So it's a good thing. Though it doesn't always have to be easy. Sometimes when you have to go uphill all the time, it makes you a lot stronger. So well done by Belgium. Not Roberto Martinez, though. This is where I do not give Roberto Martinez the credit. I don't. I really don't. I give Kevin De Bruyne the credit here, because Kevin De Bruyne is the one that turned the game on his head and won the game. You see that guy right there? You see this guy? You see that guy right there? He ain't responsible for the win. He could maybe go back to do a little bit of punditry or something, because I don't know what he's thinking. Or maybe it's Thierry Henry telling him what to do in the back as well, because none of them seem like they know what they're doing. Seriously. You think I'm joking with this? I'm not. I'm really not. These guys don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Thriller, Dom, what aspect do you think Roberto Martinez is good at? Man manager or actual tactics? He ain't good. He ain't good. I repeat, he ain't good. As Julian is saying, he's clueless. He's clueless. He ain't good. Aaron Guy, Dom, isn't Henry in the MLS now? He was at Montreal Whitecaps, but he left. He stepped down and went back to being the assistant of the Belgium national team. Yeah, so that's a thing. So, guys, what we're going to do right about now, I'm going to hit you with some Opta stats. Of course, I have to hit you with the Opta stats, man. Come on. You know I love them stats. We're going to hit you. Let's hit them with the up to stats from Up to Joe. Just get that link and drop it right in there. Drop it like it's hot in there and switch right over to Up to Joe, where I'll hit you with the up to stats. Let's talk about them up to stats. So, 9. Since the 2014 World Cup, Eden Hazard has made more assists than any other European player in major international tournaments. 9. Hazard also joins Kevin De Bruyne as the only 2 Europeans to assist a goal in each of the last 4 major tournaments. Pedigree. And it goes back to where I was saying, whenever Belgium has both Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne on the field, they're going to be a problem, man. And Lukaku, they're going to be a problem. And with Axel Witsel to just sit there and allow the other players to do their thing, it's going to be a problem. This is where we might see the best of Yuri Tillemans now, with the fact that Axel Witsel is back in the midfield, so you're going to take Den Donker out of the equation. You're going to put Witsel in, and then you could slot Kevin De Bruyne in the middle, and you're going to have a whole different thing going on here. You're going to have something totally different happening. Watch and see. Remember I told you this. This Belgian team, they could get really far in the tournament. I'm predicting them to reach around the semi-final, where they might meet France and get knocked out. But they're going to be a very difficult team to beat. So, 2. Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne are the first pair of substitutes to both assist in a European Championship match for the same side since Robin van Persie and Arjen Robben for the Netherlands versus France in 2008. Influencers. These guys came off the bench and changed the game. Okay? I know they're not at full fitness, but they have to start the next match. They got to start. They got to start. I don't care if they're not at full fitness. They have to start. So Belgium will go through. They will go through. They're not top in the group as yet, but they will go through because they do play Finland on the last match day. And let's say Finland beat Belgium by a better, like, let's say 4 goals to, let me see, 5-0 or something like that. Let's say 5-0. Finland could still top the group. But Belgium will go on to top this group, guys. Without a doubt. Belgium will go on to top this group. There's no if, buts, maybes, or nothing about this one. They will at least get a draw against Finland, where I think they will rotate their team. They will rotate, and they will expect to beat Finland. 4. Kevin De Bruyne is the only European player to have assisted a goal in each of the last 4 major international tournaments, World Cups, and Euros, doing so in the 2014, 2016, 2018, and 2020 editions. Unrivaled. Y'all need to give Kevin De Bruyne some more damn credit, man. Yeah, just give him some more credit, man. The man is the best midfielder in the world right now. I'm going to go as far as to say the whole world. Okay? 99. That's seconds. Yusuf Poulsen has scored the second quickest goal in European Championships history, timed 99 seconds. Only Dmitry Kirichenko for Russia versus Greece at Euro 2004. That Greece astonishingly went on to win. Guys, don't forget that. Greece won Euro 2004, and they're not at the Euros right now. So, what a drop-off for Greece, right? So, in 2004, the fastest ever goal was scored at the Euro 65 seconds in. Crazy. Thrust. And Yusuf Poulsen celebrated like a madman. And at that point, I thought Belgium were going to lose the game. I really did. So, that'll be it for the up to stats, guys. Let's talk a bit. Let's talk about the next games that's coming up tomorrow. We have to talk about that. But before we do, guys, we're talking about Group B, and we're talking about Belgium. So if Belgium tops their group, guys, they will play a third place team from group A, D, E, or F. Okay? So they meet a third place team. So let's take a look at the potential matchups in the round of 16, right? Potential matchups in the round of 16. We're not going to jump ahead at the quarterfinals right now, where they will meet the winner of A or the runner-up from C. So right now, if Belgium go on to top this group, go into the round of 16, they could meet Italy, or they could meet someone from group C. So there's a potential matchup between Italy and Belgium in the future. That is mouth-watering. That is mouth-watering. But let's just go back to Group A. Third in Group A. I don't know if Switzerland are going to come through as one of the best third-place teams, right? We don't know this. We really don't know this. Or it could be Wales. But right now it's looking more like Wales are going to come second in that group because of the way Italy has been playing. If Switzerland beat Turkey, then Switzerland, they could come in as one of the best third-place teams. But right now, we don't know. But right now, it's Switzerland. So, they could meet Switzerland. And Switzerland were a team. I actually got it mixed up recently where I was saying Denmark did beat Belgium. It was Switzerland that beat them in the Nations League, right? It was Switzerland that beat them real bad. So, just keep that in mind. Belgium could face Switzerland. They could face Switzerland. And the next group, we got to look at Group D. Group D. Oh, Croatia, England, Czech Republic, Scotland. So that could be a matchup, potential matchup to meet Belgium. Nobody want to meet Belgium, man. Group E. Slovakia, Sweden, Poland, Spain. Or Group F. We could also see a situation where they meet one of the teams from the group of death in the round of 16. This is crazy. This is crazy. But nothing is finalized yet, guys. Definitely not finalized. So we gotta wait. We gotta wait on that one. Definitely gotta wait. So that game will be played in London, guys. That'll be a match. No, that'll be played in Seville. Pardon me. Seville, Spain. Seville, Spain. But with that said, guys, we're going to move on to tomorrow's matches. Let's talk a bit about tomorrow's games. And those games are going to be coming up from Group D. And I think we have one game from Group E. So how's everybody in here feeling right about now? I'm feeling good. Back again with another live stream. This is the 6th one, 6 days in a row. This ain't easy, guys. But I got to do it. Got to do it, man. Told you guys I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's not easy, but gonna get it done. How much likes are we at right now? I haven't checked it. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. We're only at 53 likes. Come on, man. We could do better than that. We could do better than that, guys. Let's get the stream up to 100 thumbs up. I know there's about 50 of y'all in here who have not smashed the thumbs up button. Smash the thumbs up button. Let's get today's stream to 100 like the last 2 streams. You guys could do a lot better than that. Come on, man. Don't let me down like that. Don't let down your boy Dominic Rich like that. Smash up the thumbs up button. Let's get the stream up to 100 thumbs up. All right? We'll definitely appreciate that, man. Big up to Crow Geek in the house. Haven't seen you around these parts in a while. How are you feeling? Big up to Doug. Nice to see you around here, Doug. How are you? How are you? Who else we got in here? Ray. How's Ray doing? Chicken Man, how are you doing? I'm fine. Michael Talbot. I liked and subbed. Thank you very much, Michael. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Let's get the stream up to 100 thumbs up. So we're going to be talking about these matches from Group D right now. Let's switch that to Group D and let's go. Let us go. I need to write this down so that I don't forget what I predicted. who I predicted to win. But we got these games coming up in groups D and F. No, not F, E. Group D and E. I don't know where I got F from, but in groups D and E. So tomorrow, we got the big one, guys, between England and Scotland. But before that one, we have Croatia versus the Czech Republic. So let me just write my predictions down. Predictions. Croatia versus Czech Republic at Hampden Park in Glasgow. And the boy Doug will be busy tomorrow watching this game versus England. Doug, all the best to Scotland. It's going to be difficult, but it's a derby, you know, anything could happen. So, Croatia versus Czech Republic. That'll be the first one. England versus Scotland at Wembley. The neighbors coming up against each other. Scotland, and we have another game in the next group between Sweden and Slovakia, I think. I think that's remembering from the thumbnail. Sweden versus Slovakia. So some big games. Tomorrow will be a big day, and I will be back live to talk about those games. So let's just talk about Croatia, Czech Republic first. Croatia, Czech Republic. Friday, June 18th. Croatia not in very good form. They have lost their last 2 games, failing to win their last 3. So Czech Republic coming off out of bounds of 2 wins, but before that, 2 losses and a draw. So in terms of games in European competition, these teams have actually met once, and that game ended in a 2-2 draw. So in terms of the overall head-to-head between Croatia and the Czech Republic. Remember, Croatia lost their opening match against England, and we had the Czech Republic beating Scotland. So, Croatia versus Czech Republic, 3 matches. 2 games have ended in a draw, and Croatia have won 1. So, Croatia have never lost to the Czech Republic, guys. So, Jaroslav Silhavy and his boys from the Czech Republic, they got their work cut out for them. God, that was very impressive in the first game against Scotland, where I think they caught the Scottish fans by surprise, because most Scottish fans were very bullish on their chances, especially played at home, of beating the Czechs. But the Czechs are looking good. And this is a very tricky game for Croatia. World Cup finalist Croatia. Very, very, very tricky game. I like the Croatia national team, as you guys know. Followed them at the World Cup as well. And followed them after the World Cup. But they need to step their game up big time. And I would like to see Zlatko Dalic put in the likes of Josip Brekalo. And he has to put in Nikola Vlasic in the team. These guys have to start. You got to do something different. These guys have to start the game. You got to drop Brozovic. And somebody else got to sit out. Even if it's Kramaric, got to sit out. You got to bring the youngsters in. They're the future. And they're not just youngsters. They're very talented youngsters. And they're proven at national team level. You got to start these guys. You see what I mean? You can't keep persisting with these guys who are not working. It's like they have lost the enthusiasm. Bring them off the bench. Let them see what it feels like to compete for a place. It seems like they have gotten comfortable. If you understand exactly what I'm saying. Even a Ribic, drop them. Try something different. Or else, this Czech Republic team, they're going to beat you, Croatia. They're going to beat you. Seriously. I like this Croatian team, but guys, it's difficult to see Croatia beating this Czech Republic team. I'm serious. I don't see Croatia beating Czech Republic. And you guys know I've been spot on. You guys know my predictions have been spot on. You notice, this is not, listen, you know my predictions have been spot on. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. But I'm even go as far as to say the Czechs won't lose. The Czechs, they hold the aces here. 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw. Croatia does not look good in the final third. Not at all. And what Patrick Schick did there against Scotland, this man has his tail up and he is ready to go. Shusek, Kufal, Kral, these guys are ready to go. Yaroslav Silhavi, he's ready to go. Zlatko Dalic looks a little laid back, man. Like he's not under any pressure to lose his job or anything. You see how his belly got big? And I'm like, what is going on here, man? Zlatko Dalic, things are nice. Things are a bit too nice in my opinion. 1-1 draw. 1-1. This is gonna put Croatia into in the hot seat. I think Croatia will move on to the next round. Don't get me wrong. But the final game against Scotland, it will be a must-win game. That's how it's gonna set up. 1-1 draw. Tomorrow is gonna be a big day in terms of Group D. England versus Scotland, the Czechs versus Croatia. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm off tomorrow as well. I'm going to try to get some things done, though, apart from, you know, watching football. I have to be a bit more versatile, you know. I have to do more than just playing FIFA and watching football. I got to clean my car. I got to go check up on my other car. You know what I mean? There's things to do. But right about now, the Euro is very important to all of us. It is. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw here between Croatia and the Czech Republic. Czechs would go up to 4 points. Potentially a place into the round of 16. And Croatia, they'll pick up their first points of the tournament and needing a win against Scotland on the final day. So it'll be a big game for both Scotland and a big game for Croatia. So big up to the boy Danny Gold channel, who's in the house. How you feeling, man? I just actually finished watching the game between Colombia and Venezuela that ended in a 0-0 draw. Very, 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 very feisty contest here. You know what I notice about Copa America games? Every match is the same. High octane, high intensity, fight to the death, kill each other, basically. You know, and now we have Peru coming up against Brazil. So, yeah, got the Copa America playing in background here. So, Christopher Hallgren is saying 2 goals, win at least for Croatia. Let us see. But that's my prediction, though. 1-1. Let's talk about the other game, guys. But what we're going to do, we're going to move into the other group. We won't talk about the England-Scotland game yet. Let's talk about the Group E match between Sweden and Slovakia. So that's what we're going to touch on right now. Sweden versus Slovakia. Group E. Sweden versus Slovakia, guys. Ooh, this one is difficult. This one is also difficult because Slovakia coming off of a win. Sweden, a brilliant draw versus Spain. So this one is very hard to actually predict. Let's talk. So these teams have never met each other in European matches, guys. But they're coming into the game on form. Sweden, no losses in their last 5. With 4 wins and a draw. Slovakia, 3 draws and 2 wins. So just to touch on the overall head-to-head, guys. I do have the overall head-to-head. Sweden, Slovakia. And these teams have met 6 times. Where Sweden have won 3. And there have been 3 draws. So Slovakia has never beaten Sweden in their history of playing against each other. The last time they met was in 2018, where in a friendly it finished 1-1. And before that, Sweden beat Slovakia 6-0 in a friendly. And if you want to know who was playing for Slovakia on that day, I don't see a lot of recognizable names. Yeah, it looks like it was a weakened Slovakian team. Dubravka was in goal, but none of the other guys that were actually starting, I don't see them at the tournament right now. It was Sweden beat a second string Slovakian team in 2018. So, yeah. And going back to that Copa America thing, I see Luis Diaz did get sent off. Yeah, a lot of red cards in the Copa America, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think these European referees could handle refereeing in these Copa America games. They might send off everybody. Oh, man. So, just going back to Sweden, Slovakia. Sweden showed a lot of grit in that game against Spain. And I think Sweden were lucky to pick up a point. But they could have also sucker punched Spain and win the game. So, you got to look for Alexander Isak and his threat going forward. If Jan Anderson wants to get something from this game, he has to drop Marcus Berg, man. You got to bring on one of Quaison or anybody except Marcus Berg to complement Alexander Isak. Or just use Isak as a load man up top and just change up your system. But Jan Anderson is a creature of habit, and I don't think he's going to change a damn thing. I think he might just go in with the same 11, barring any injuries and suspensions. And he'll go in with the same team. And he's going to come up against a very spirited Slovakian team here. And I think they'll get a good result. I'm favoring Sweden here. Jan Anderson versus Stefan Tarkovic. I'm favoring Sweden to squeeze out a win. Skriniar, who picked up a goal in the last game, may not agree. Robert Mack played well. Got Merrick Hamsik. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Sweden. This won't be the most open game of football. I think the battle would be in midfield. But I think Sweden, their quality on display would actually prove to be the difference here. 1-0 Sweden over Slovakia. So that'll be my prediction, guys. Let me know yours in the chat. What we got here in terms of predictions? Home of Juve. Sweden to win 1-0 because they love to defend. Oh, for 90 minutes. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. They would grind the result out. It would be a very difficult team to break down. So I'm going for 1-0. They won't score a lot. This is what we know. They won't score a lot of goals. But they would be very, very difficult to score against. So, Bekir Perspeci is saying, Copa America, every match, the same shit. Yep. Julian is saying a 1-1. Mr. A, 1-0 to Sweden. Dupe, 2-0 to Sweden. We got here Mucha Lucha vibes. Oh, man. So, home of Juve, Edison starting. I think what Brazil are doing, they're rotating the goalkeepers. I think that's what they're doing. Jordan Hyman, 3-0 to Croatia. Thank you very much for dropping that prediction, Jordan. So, big up to Chris up in the house who says, Mourinho probably loved the way Sweden play. Oh, what a great point. Chris up coming in with the fire. You're coming in with the... Listen, man. Listen, Chris up. Listen, you're coming in with the fire, baby. You're coming in with the flame right away. You're coming in with the flame. Love it. Love it, man. We have Dujan McNeil, 3-0 to Sweden. We got Daniel Ahmad, 3-0 to Sweden. Guys, if Sweden scored 3 goals, I'll be surprised, man. Robert Rodriguez, 2-0 to Sweden. I think they will win 2. MW Trolley, big up to you, MW Trolley. Sorry about what's going on with the Denmark team right about now. Hard luck on the 2 losses. He says a 3-1 to Sweden. Bekir says a 2-1 to Sweden as well. Faye Jumps, 2-0 to Sweden. Chicken Man, 2-1 to Sweden. Danny Gold, yeah, 2-0. Dupe again, 2-0. 1-0. Isaac to score. Thank you very much. MW Trolley saying also, I think Sweden will win. Told people that Sweden will do too much better than Poland. Nice. Dania Ahmad. When Sweden don't play top teams, they are playing very good. Also in the attacking. That's a good that's a good point. They play to the level of their opposition basically, and it means that if they play in a quality team, they would match the quality team. And when they play in a lesser team, I think they actually, you know, play well enough to beat the lesser team. So I'm going to go for Sweden to win 1-0. I think that's a fair prediction. Very fair. Sorry, Slovakia. But I'm not writing off a Slovakia result, whether they get a draw or even a win. I'm not writing that off. But we get to the last one, guys. The big one. England versus Scotland. Is it that big or is it just overhyped? Is it overhyped? Is it overhyped or is it really big? It's very hyped up. It is very hyped up though. You know what I'm saying? It is very hyped up. But is it overhyped, guys? That's a question I have for you guys. Is it hyped up? Also, home of Juventus is saying, Dom, Kulusevski returned. Yeah, we did talk about him the last time. And I was actually thinking about the fact that he could return, but I didn't actually mention it. But thanks for bringing that up. If Kulusevski comes back for Sweden, that would be a big boost. Definitely will help them win the game. So, big up to Robert Rodriguez. Says, great discussion, Dom, as always. Gotta go now. Catch you tomorrow. Big up, Robert. Appreciate it, man. Dupe saying, overhyped. It's because of England, in my opinion. So, what you're saying is every English game is overhyped? Yeah, always hyped up. Always. Always. But England versus Scotland, guys. Let us talk about that one. The big British derby. Big UK derby. Let's go. England have won 5 out of 5 of their last games. Scotland, 1 loss, 2 draws, 2 wins. Not bad. In terms of head-to-head in European competitions, Scotland has 2 wins. England has 2 wins. And 1 game have ended in a draw. So, oh boy. Ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good one. So, let's get the overall head-to-head, guys. The official overall head-to-head reads 114 games between these two teams, right? 114. But something I've noticed, I have covered this game recently because these teams are in World Cup qualifiers group stages, right? For the 2018 World Cup. And England won one of the games 3-0, and the other game hosted by Scotland, I think that was at Hampden Park. It ended in a 2-2 draw. So the last time these two teams met, it ended in a 2-2 draw, right? But there was a hiatus between 1999 and 2013 where these teams did not meet in any international football match. But going back to the 1999 game for qualifiers for the Euros, England actually lost to Scotland at home. So that was the last win that Scotland picked up against England, and it dates all the way back to 1987. So they haven't beaten England for a while. That's 22 years ago. The last time they beat England, but they have only played each other 5 times in 22 years. But going back to the head-to-head, which is very close, 114 matches, 48 wins for England, 41 for Scotland, and 25 games have ended in draws. This rivalry goes back very, very far, guys, and I'll give you some more insight on that. You go all the way back to the back, all the way to the bottom. These teams used to play each other a lot of times, man. It dates all the way back to 1873. Jeez. 1873, guys. God damn it. They played a lot in the 80s, played a lot in the 70s, a lot of friendlies. There used to be a lot of friendlies, man. But they met in European qualifiers back in 1966, 67. You know, they played against each other a lot. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Sir Bobby Charlton, these big names come to mind. Jimmy Graves, you know, so big rivalry. But the big question that you guys are asking is, who's gonna win? Who do you think is gonna win, guys? Is it Steve Clark's Scotland, or is it Gareth Southgate's England, his very talented English team, coming up against Scotland here, man? This is gonna be a hard one to predict. But guys, I think I favor England here. I know you got somebody said, oh man, I knew he was gonna say England. Oh man. Oh, the Scotland fans are saying, damn you, Dom. I'm gonna unsubscribe, Dom. You predicted us to lose, Dom, again. Yeah, I fancy England here. But I don't think it's gonna be a pushover. England to win 1-0. 1-0. It's gonna be a very, very feisty affair. And England to win 1-0. Che Adams to miss a sitter for Scotland. Who scored for England? Raheem Sterling again. Raheem! Oh, Raheem, baby. Raheem with the goal, and he celebrates. And he opens up his mouth and his eyes and his nostrils. And he celebrates in front of the fans. Go, Raheem. 1-0. England to win over Scotland, guys. So, that's my prediction. 1-0 England. 1-0 Sweden. 1-1 Croatia versus the Czech Republic. But, guys, it might actually turn out to be a goal fest tomorrow. See what I'm saying? Thriller is saying Andy Robertson to score a goal and then get a red carded later in the match. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, guys, we've been live for 1 hour, 52 minutes. And I think this is where we're going to call it a day. Want to give it some replay value. And we've been streaming for a long time. It's pretty rough, you know, to have a sleeping baby in my hands and everything and do this thing. Oh, man. Talk about commitment. Talk about drive, you know, and just talk about efficiency. You talk about your boy Dominic Rich. So, how's everybody there feeling? How many likes have we got? Have we reached 75 likes yet? 66 likes. Guys, smash the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so. Let's get to at least 75 likes. Smash the thumbs up button. I'm about to leave. But if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the chat. Any Euro questions, leave it in the chat. We will get into some more of the round of 16 potential matchups tomorrow again. But we already did that. So we don't want to speculate too much, okay? So if you haven't yet smashed the thumbs up button, guys, make sure you smash it. If you have any questions, ask me. I got about 7 more minutes before we hit 2 hours. And yeah. A-Bob is saying poor Liam. Liam is happy sleeping here, man. Liam is used to this. Chicken Man is saying, you're my favorite YouTuber, Dominic. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, man, you know. You're the boss, Chicken Man. What a name. What a name. So, Becker Pessi is saying, who will win, in your opinion, Euro 2021? I'm going for France. France is my winner. France is my winner. We have Home of Juve is asking, are you going to be live tomorrow? Bro, what kind of question are you asking me, bro? What kind of question are you asking me? You know I'm going to be live tomorrow. You know this. If you know this, why would you ask? Oh, man. Yeah. So, guys, your boy Dominic Rich back again in the house for yet another daily Euro 2020 roundup. I'm back. I've been here. I've been back 6 days in a row. 6 days. 6 days, man. You know what I'm saying? 6 days. We've been here for 6 days. Guys, you see the thing about what I do here, man? It's like I review every single game because I watch every single game, and it's very rare that you find that on YouTube that people are going to dedicate a little 2 hours to talk and break down every single game and give you opinion and give you, you know, more details about the games. Not just a quick fix, you know what I mean? You get 2 hours. And you get quality. You get precision. You get opinions. And even if I have to sacrifice more views or whatever, I don't mind. I really don't mind. Because, for example, right, when I made a prediction video for Euro 2020, I could have made a 10-minute video and got 50,000 views. But I made a 40-minute video where most people won't click that because they see 40 minutes. They're like, nah, I ain't got no time to watch the 40-minute video. See what I'm saying? And that's what's been going on here. That's what's really been going on here, man. So Thriller is saying, Dom, where did you learn how to be so consistent? All right, the consistency, I think I might have kind of this thing about me where I can't leave anything undone. You know, it's not like OCD or anything. It's just that I like to complete my missions. If I have a mission, I want to complete it. I don't want to leave it half done or reach 75% and not finish it. I want to finish it. And, you know, it's just about setting a goal and say, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. Guys, you know, this like, look, I did 38 weeks of Premier League live streams for previews and for reviews. So doing a little Euro thing for a month, what's that gonna do to me? But then it's difficult when you consider that I went from September to May, and then we hit what, June? After May is June, right? We hit June and I'm back again doing the Euros every single day. And then we have Gold Cup, and I'm gonna be doing Gold Cup. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, man. Oh, let me take a sip of my beer. Oh, come on, man. So let's say, no cap. That's truly inspirational, man. Yeah. And I also have this thing, guys, just to give you guys some inspiration. If there's anything in life that you want to do, anything at all, there's 70 plus people in here. Guys, listen to exactly what I'm telling you right now. Anything you want to do, absolutely anything. Just work at it 30 minutes. 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day. Work on it. Get hyped up about it and work on it. 15 to 30 minutes of a 24-hour day. You'll find some days that you start putting in an hour. You'll start putting in 2 hours. Some days you'll put in 10 minutes, not 10 hours. But then eventually what ends up happening, in a year's time, you would have mastered that whole skill that you're trying to develop. And it goes with anything. Anything. So just try it and you'll see. Just try it. Just try it. Just try it. That's how I got good at making thumbnails, guys. Because I always keep working and working and working and working. And while I'm doing other things in the day, it's going on in my head. I'm making things in my head as well. So I never stop working, man. So that's just some advice to y'all. And A-Bob is saying, that's true, Dom. That's how I started jogging. And it's so addictive now. I need to start jogging. Man, A-Bob, if I start jogging, man, you know, I'm going to lose some pounds off the face and everything. And you'll see more A-Bob start popping up inside my live streams and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, man. Big up to Danny Gold Channel, VA, Maggie. My top 3, USA, Mexico, Panama, Honduras, 4th. Thank you very much for coming through. All right, so, guys, I'm about to get on out of here, man. Appreciate you guys coming through again. Love that you guys are really interested in, what I'm doing here every single day. And we will continue it going, into the knockout stages of this tournament. And even after the tournament is over, we'll continue with the live streams, man. So it's all about continuity, guys. Without continuity, there will be no electricity. And without electricity, there won't be no power. Okay? And you need power. You need power. Power is everything. All right? But now, I'm about to power down. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Sorry. So, guys, from your boy Dominic Rich, thanks for tuning in again. Chris Up, thank you very much. Thriller, Abob, Dupe, Aaron Guy, V.A. McGee, Michael Talbot, everybody in here. B2K Julian, everybody who turned out, Zachary Leahy, home of Juve, Chicken Man, everybody. Thanks for coming through again. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace. Peace. Peace.